Welcome to the series Employee Health Services, Mind, Body, and Spirit. Employee Health is a section in the City of Albuquerque's Risk Management Division. Its mission is to promote a sense of community and increase wellness among city employees and their families by providing education and counseling about physical and mental health. And now, Mind, Body, and Spirit with Dr. Julia Bain.
Hello and welcome to Mind, Body, and Spirit. My name is Dr. Julia Bain, and today we have an amazing show about foster grandparents in our community. And joining me is the supervisor of the Foster Grandparent Program, Maria ReQua.
ReQua. Thank you for having me.
I want to get it right for your mother-in-law. What's her name?
That's okay. My mother-in-law's name is Judy.
Judy, that was for you, my darling. Judy, my darling. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You run a great program. It is wonderful for our foster grandparents. It's wonderful for the kids. And we're just going to jump right in and talk about what is the mission of the Foster Grandparent Program.
Well, the Foster Grandparent Program engages individuals 55 years or better in service in the community.
Okay.
Foster grandparents serve in elementary schools, Head Start centers, and nonprofit daycare centers. Wow. And they're just there to give the children that extra attention that they need. They work one-on-one with the kids, and where the teacher in the classroom might not have that time. And then they also work with kids in groups, and they can help them academically or with social skills, and just be a friend and a mentor, that positive role model.
Mentoring, modeling, this is what polite behavior looks like. This is what wisdom looks like. This is what experience looks like. It is such a gift that we have them in our schools.
We have about right now 90 foster grandparents placed throughout the metro area.
Great.
And each year they serve over 200 children.
Wow. And how does a school or a program get fortunate enough to be able to get a foster grandparent to help nurture and teach a child?
We get calls from teachers, instructors, program specialists.
Oh, okay.
And we have a list because we place the foster grandparent within their own neighborhood.
Oh, perfect.
We'll just start doing some targeted marketing and recruiting in that area, and we try to find that perfect match. So we already know that there is a classroom for them, and someone wants to host them in their classroom and has expressed, the desire to give their students that extra help.
Wow. And you have got some amazing stories. I want you to start off with the story. And when you told me this, I said, really? I had no idea. About Lyndon Johnson and how the whole program got started at his particular day and how he had this giant light bulb go off. Tell me that story.
Sure. Well, how the Foster Grandparent Program came about was around the War of Poverty. President Johnson found himself out on a tour one day. He had visited some schools. He went out and visited some institutions that help children with disabilities. And then later that afternoon, he went for a coffee social at some senior centers. And, the light bulb turned on, so to speak, and he said, how do we get these generations together? Here are all of these kids that have extra time. Here are all of these seniors.
And the program was born.
And that's how the program was born. It was really established so that the senior can remain active, and so that they could also earn some benefits that would help them. The program was really set so that the senior could earn a little supplement to their income. So a lot of the participants in our program are lower income individuals, and they're going to get a little stipend.
How much is that?
That stipend is $2.65 per hour.
Okay.
So it certainly is not a job. It's not work, and they're definitely not there for the money.
It's just a little something, gas money, right?
Exactly. It goes a long way, and for some of our seniors, it means that they can pay their copays for their medication.
Oh, wow.
It means, that they can pay increase in utility bills. And some of them certainly come to rely on it, and they need it. But the great part about the stipend is because it's non-taxable, it's not going to affect their Social Security.
Oh, nice.
And it cannot be considered income. So it's not going to affect their eligibility for other programs.
Yeah, every little bit helps. And it keeps people active. I just think it's great how President Johnson saw the need for children who needed extra help and support in the classroom, who weren't reading, who maybe were socially behind, had a variety of issues, and then met these older people in the community who needed something to do, needed a job and a sense of purpose, and figured out how to bring that together.
It's great. The children that are served by foster grandparents have a need. Sometimes it's just that literacy need. Maybe they're falling behind from their class. It could be maybe an illness. Maybe it's a child with asthma, misses school some, and needs help catching up. But we also have, families that just maybe can't support the learning environment at home. Some of our special initiatives is that we ask our partnering locations in the schools to help us put foster grandparents together with children who are raised by their grandparents.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe they're in the foster care system. Maybe they have one or both of their parents are incarcerated. Or we also are collecting and doing a study with children of military families.
Okay.
Because maybe they can't settle in, they might move around a lot, or one of their parents is recently deployed and they found themselves in a different living situation.
Sure, and they just need that extra support and help. And it really helps out the teacher.
It does. The teacher, again, wants to, a caring teacher wants to help all of her students. But when you have a huge classroom full and a curriculum that you have to stick to and so many hours and short attention spans, having someone in there to encourage the kids, keep them on task, and help them one-on-one really helps her classrooms run smoother, and then the child demonstrates improvement.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a win-win-win, right?
Yes.
When you told me, because I'm going to be doing a workshop for the foster grandparents in the near future, and I'm really looking forward to it. Before we went on the show, you told me that sometimes at the meetings, people will walk up to the mic and sing a song. So I thought to myself, they're probably going to be seeing this show, so I just want to guarantee everyone that I will be singing at the workshop. And just a few bars now, it's called the ABC song, since they teach children how to read and read to children. And it starts like this. My grandmother taught me this song. It's from probably the 20s. A, you're adorable. B, you're so beautiful. C, you're a cutie full of charm. D, you're a darling. And E, you're exciting. And F, you're a feather in my arms. I mustn't go on. Don't force me. I will. But yeah, that's how I learned the ABCs.
They're really going to enjoy it. You have to sing. They're going to want you to teach them the whole song so that they could take it into the classrooms.
Maybe I'll bring the words.
Yes, that would be great.
Okay, I'll do it.
That would be great. Yes, our monthly trainings and in-services helps bring our whole group together. They get to talk to one another and learn effective practices. They'll say, well, I'm helping a little boy who has this issue. What would you do? And so they learn from each other as well.
Oh, I bet.
And at the end of our trainings, we like to give them the opportunity to share. And so they talk about the accomplishments that they see, of their students. They talk about what the program really means to them.
Nice. So they encourage one another monthly. You've told me a couple of very heartwarming stories about some of your grandparents. Would you share a couple of those now with us?
Sure. Well, I do have our longest serving foster grandparent in our program right now is working on her 25th year of service.
Wow.
And she has done all of those years at the same elementary school.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
The great part about Grandma Vera is that despite her limitations, she gets up every morning, she goes out there, and she's there to help those kids. What she has found through these 25 years is that she started having problems with her vision. She actually is very visually impaired, actually legally blind, but she's still dedicating 20 hours a week.
Wow.
And she's able to help the children despite her limitation because she knows these books. She knows these stories, so she can listen. You know, she still has limited vision, and she can see the book somewhat, but for the most part, she's the best listener.
And she listens to them read, and then you told me if they don't know a word, she has them spell it.
Right. They get caught up on a word. She says, okay, well, let's spell it, and let's try to sound it out together.
And then she'll know what the word is.
And she knows what the word is, and they get through it together. So she's inspirational.
She's a hero.
I call her my alarm clock. You know, when you want to hit the snooze button in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, on those days that you just don't want to get up. And I kind of hear it, and I think about her, you know, pretty much every morning. I'm like, she's already up. She's already out the door.
Grandma Vera's up.
Big difference.
Least I can do is get up.
That's right.
Bless her heart. Wow. What a wonderful service. Yes. What a wonderful volunteer. And you've told me, too, that you've got some veterans.
Yes, we do.
That are grandparents.
Yes, back in November, we recognized 6 veterans serving in our program. We had the mayor's office, they have an advisory council for Veterans Affairs, come and help us recognize these volunteers who served their country. And now we're still giving back to their community.
Wow.
And so they were pinned our Veteran Corps.
Oh, good. Risk your life for your country. Volunteer in your elementary school. Is there nothing these people can't do? Talk about heroes. It's just so inspiring.
Our group is really a big family. And, you know, they're out spread all over the city, and they certainly get close to the other volunteers serving in the classroom. But that once a month when they get together, they see what a big group they really are and make, you know, those connections. And it helps to keep them involved socially with their own peers.
Yeah, the grandparent force, right?
Yes, some of them say, you know, they forget how to talk to adults because they're around the kids so much. So we have to make sure we get them together so that they can, you know, be social together as well and share stories. Because it's such a big family, we also have what I think is so neat in our program is we have 6 sets of sisters.
Yes,
serving in our
sisters.
program.
Tell us about them.
So, of course, one sister tried the program.
Say that 3 times
6
fast,
sets
right?
of sisters. So there's 12 individuals, and we're going to have a special gathering for them in August on Sisters' Day.
Oh.
And recognize them. We're very thankful to the one sister who, you know, spread the word to her sister, and now they're both finding a way that they can stay active and be happy working with kids.
So a total of 12.
Yes, total of 12. All these sisters. I don't have a sister, so I'm trying to find one of those sets that'll take me in. I have brothers.
Oh.
Yes.
Nice. Well, maybe at the workshop, I'll sing the song, I Know 3 Little Sisters. I think you know them too. Do you know that song?
I don't know that one.
For one is red, the other is white, and the other one is blue. Hurrah for the 3 little sisters. Hurrah for the red, white, and blue. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Hurrah, hurrah for the red, white, and blue. Little patriotism there for you, again, taught to me by my grandmother, Georgia Eicher.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a song for everything.
Yeah, these volunteers get to share the stories with the children of growing up, what it was like, you know, in their day. Many of them, because, well, my eldest serving right now just turned 90.
Wow.
So again, you need to be 55 to join.
She is a champ.
But we'll keep them going as long as they want to.
She is a champion.
So she's 90. She's serving in a preschool, and she can share the stories with the kids. She'll talk about what school was like when, you know, she was little, or the fact that she didn't have an opportunity to finish school. She had to leave to help, with her siblings and to help with her family. And with those stories, she can help them really appreciate education.
Not to mention electricity.
Yes, and electricity.
And phones and television and refrigerators. I mean, she probably can go on and on.
Well, she can teach them how to play also.
Tell me that story.
So, some of our foster grandparents talk about working with preschool kids who rarely unplug. So, they're used to electronics. They're used to video games. They're used to electronic books, iPads, phones, and whatnot. And so they forget some of the fine motor skills that you learn with playing with toys, with holding the crayon, with holding a book and turning it, the pages. And so teach them how to play again. When they have, short attention spans and they're getting bored, she can teach them the games that her and her siblings played, when they were kids. And
oh, that just blows my mind. Unplug for sure.
It's magical too, just to see, these generations coming together and how different they are.
This is how you turn a page.
Right.
Wow, that is amazing.
So with those younger children, again, our program is serving some infants and toddlers. Our grandma and grandpas are just that comforting presence. They get to hold them, they get to cuddle them, they get to help those children feel secure even though mom and dad, went to work or, that they're not at home. In the preschool age, the goal for our program is that these children are going to demonstrate gains socially or with developmental skills to prepare them for school. So we're looking at measures of school readiness. And then in elementary school, then we're of course going to be looking at the child's scores and if they're demonstrating gains in either literacy or math. And so the grandparents feel great with that challenge, and
the difference they're making.
They're making a huge difference. 98% of the students served by foster grandparents in preschool are demonstrating school readiness skills with that extra one-on-one attention. And about 81% of the children served in elementary school are showing improvement.
Those are startling statistics.
So they are really making an impact.
Absolutely. Not to mention sharing just the energy of their caring and love and experience and wisdom. Just for a child to be able to be in the presence of someone who knows, and can be comforting just by simply being there.
Well, one of the great things that foster grandparents do is that they get to catch the children being good. Often in our busy lives, and myself as a parent, you're rushing the child along. You're telling the child what not to do, or you're seeing when they're not behaving. A foster grandparent has that time to acknowledge their great behavior, to encourage them to keep that up. That's working, and to be the nice guy.
The positive nurturing.
Positive nurturing that they need.
This is amazing. Are you looking for more volunteers?
We're always looking for more volunteers.
Why don't you talk about that? Because audience, we need you, and talk about fulfilling, right?
It's very fulfilling. Certainly the benefits of the program, I mentioned the stipend earlier, and that is for income eligible individuals. But all of our foster grandparents receive meals while serving. They get transportation reimbursement, whether they drive or take public transportation.
You get free lunch.
That's right.
School lunch.
Want to make sure that this involvement is not going to be any out-of-pocket expense for the volunteer. They're also not doing it at their own risk. Our program offers a supplemental accident and liability insurance. So say that, the unexpected happens when they're serving.
Trip and fall, heaven forbid.
Exactly. Or, they broke that computer they were trying to learn at the school. Or, little incidents like that can certainly happen. But we hear from the volunteers all the time, all the other rewarding things that come from the program, having that sense of purpose, knowing that they're needed. And we have talked to many of them who say that their health has improved since starting in the program.
Is that right?
Because they're not at home. They're out, they're moving about. Maybe one of our foster grandparents who had diabetes had to control that with insulin. But after starting to serve in the program, while she was up and moving, she was eating balanced meals, so she was getting exercise, and later that she was able to control her diabetes with, just some small medication and proper diet, and is feeling so much better health-wise as well.
What a testimonial.
So we're always needing new foster grandparents. They only need to be 55 years of age or over. Have time to give, like working with kids, and want to get busy in the community and make a difference.
Yeah, what a rewarding way to serve. And like you said, you're going to get plenty of exercise.
Right.
In elementary school, and I mean, those kids move.
But we have many volunteers that aren't able to, certainly, go play on the swings or go down the slide at recess with the kids. But we really tailor the assignment to each individual's abilities.
Okay.
So
you don't have to be in the Senior Olympics to be
a
foster grandparent.
Not at all. We have foster grandparents from all walks of life. We have, retired educators. We have retired healthcare professionals. And we have other grandparents, again, who maybe didn't have the opportunity to finish their schooling, who maybe lived out in rural areas and didn't have access to education.
Wow.
So we have some of those very sporty ones that are energetic and can run circles around me. And we have some that have canes, walkers, oxygen tanks. And yet we find a way that they can keep serving in the school and keep them active. So we will definitely tailor the assignment to the applicant, as well as through the many years that we hope they stay with us as they age. We're going to make sure that they can serve just the amount of hours that they need to keep active, and that they do it, without any obstacles.
And there's no upper age limit because you have a grandparent who's 90.
That's right. Our eldest before her retired when she was 95. So she was still doing 15 hours a week in our program, and she retired just over a year ago at 95 years of age. She was in elementary school, and her 78-year-old daughter said, "It's time, Mom, you have to retire."
What a role model for us all.
Certainly. Keeps me going. That's for sure. And the great part about this program also is that they get a sense that this is happening nationwide. The foster grandparent program
I wanted you to talk about that, yeah.
It's part of Senior Corps.
Okay.
And a foster grandparent program, I think you could tell I'm a little partial to. But it's one of 3 programs.
Okay.
Senior Corps also has the Senior Companion program.
Okay.
And Senior Companions help the elderly.
A
They
friend
help
of
other
mine
seniors.
a friend of mine has a senior companion, and she relies on her once a week to take her to shopping, and
That's right. They got little errands, and again, they're just companions. And then our RSVP program has many retired professionals who still have a lot of skills and knowledge that they want to give back. So those volunteers can get involved in numerous ways. They really enhance the capacity of a lot of nonprofit locations that they're placed at. They help within the Department of Senior Affairs with instructing classes and with providing transportation or delivering meals. So Senior Corps is a great program. We are federally funded, through the Corporation for National and Community Service.
Awesome.
Here in New Mexico, we're jointly administered by the state. We
Okay.
receive state funds from Aging and Long-Term Services. And the city
Great
of Albuquerque,
department.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Do so much for our seniors.
And Senior Affairs. Go Senior Affairs.
Senior Affairs has been sponsoring these programs for over 40 years.
Wow.
And I'm fortunate to be where I'm at. It's a wonderful fit. It is just allowing these foster grandparents to share their wisdom. And our motto is that they share today and shape tomorrow.
Oh, what a great motto. I love that.
And the dollars that we receive, we know that they're grant funds, but we turn that around and there is a huge return on investment.
Share today, shape tomorrow.
That's right.
I think we should all live by that, don't you? Right? That is so wonderful. Okay, we only have like 4 minutes left. I was going to say, other communities in the United States. So this is nationwide.
It is.
Wow. And, okay, so let's say somebody watching the program says, I want to do it. Phone number, please. And I know you need a background check. You need to be
Correct.
55.
Yes.
And you need to call Maria.
Yes.
Okay, what's your phone number?
Our office is at 505-764-6421.
Nice. And they just call and say, I want to volunteer to be a foster grandparent.
That's correct. We will send them out a little bit of package and an application.
Okay.
Once we get that application, we'll set up a time that's convenient to talk to them, get to know them better, see
Okay.
how they want to get involved in the community.
Nice.
And you did mention that there is a background check that
Uh-huh.
they need to clear. We want to make sure to protect the kids that are being served.
Sure.
And also, protect our seniors to
Sure.
show that they're of great moral character.
Uh-huh.
And we have a pre-service orientation or training
Okay.
that will give them tips on how to work with kids.
So you train the
That's right.
grandparents, sure.
We train them before we place them in the classroom, and then we have that fun monthly in-service and get together.
Yeah, and so off we go. And if anybody ever has a question or a concern, they can always talk to you.
That's right. Or we can also be found online on the city's website. We are, again, under the Department of Senior Affairs.
Okay.
And we're getting more and more baby boomers hitting us up online. We're getting emails now instead of phone calls
Uh-huh.
and getting them engaged in service.
Excellent, excellent. We only have like a minute. What final words of wisdom do you have, Maria?
I guess
for
I
the
would just
audience.
like to, reiterate that the Department of Senior Affairs and Senior Corps have something to do for anyone 55 years of age and older. You can contact our department, and if you enjoy working with children, then the foster grandparent program can use your help.
Uh-huh.
If you love to help your neighbors, you like to help seniors, the Senior Companion Program always needs help. Or if you still have a lot to give and maybe you've recently retired but finding too much time on your hands, then the RSVP program would love to harness your experience.
There's always something to do, right?
That is.
And volunteering your time is just the greatest gift of all.
That's right. Every volunteer is going to get a lot back from volunteering. Most of our participants say they get so much more from volunteering than what they're actually giving.
I believe that. Yeah. Won't you be my neighbor? Maria, how much fun has this
Thank
been?
you. It's been great.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad that you had me here and I got to talk to you about our programs.
Me too. I think you are a rock star. You're
you.
wonderful. And what you do is wonderful. And keep up the good work. And maybe you'll come back and talk to me again sometime.
I sure hope so.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Volunteer to be a foster grandparent. How rewarding is this for you? Do not hesitate to call. And thank you for watching. This is Dr. Julia Bain. Until next time, be happy and be well.
This has been Employee Health Services Mind, Body, and Spirit. For more information, call the City of Albuquerque's Employee Health Services at 768-4613 Let the Employee Health Services staff let you be your best at work, at home, and at play.